Good morning and very warm welcome to all of you to Women Economic Forum 2016. And I'm very glad to invite all the attendees over here and our speakers. Our lead speaker is Ms. Bridget Cook-Burch, and she is the CEO of Inspire Legacy LLC from USA. We have another speaker, Katie Jo Welch, which she is Katie Jo Drum Circle Goddess of USA. And we have another speaker, Apekshita Alkes, and actually I'm very glad to see her because she is just a student and she has come over here to give her speech. And I would invite one by one all the speakers. So first of all, I would like to invite Ms. Cook-Burch. Please come and say a few words about your topic. Our topic is, what does it mean to be a hero? So she will be sharing her thoughts about this topic. Please, ma'am, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning and namaste. How is everybody doing today? Good, especially with all the energy in the house. So we're talking about a subject today that's very, very close to my heart, and that is, what does it mean to be a shiro? And so I have a nonprofit organization called Shiros United, and the reason we chose that name, Shiro, was because you think about a man being a hero, saving the day, right? But women save the day all the time. Women save the day in the home. Women save the day in business. Women save the day in the community. And women are saving the day in the world. And so what we're going to talk about today is, sincerely, what does it mean to be a shiro? Are you going to do my slides? That would be great. Thank you. So I just have a few really poignant points that I would like to make, because I also want to give our honored guests enough time, and then we have something very special for you at the end as well. So go ahead. Did he find the battery? Oh, he's still coming. Okay. So, and if you could press it again, I believe that it will open, or it should play. But if it doesn't, the important thing about a shiro is that she knows her story. The important thing about a shiro is that she knows her story, and this is why. Because if you do not know your story, then you do not know your power. And if you cannot stand in your power, then there is no way that you can save or support or assist anyone else on the planet. But when you know your story, when you know your history, when you know what, where you've been, then you have an idea of what is possible for you when you're going to go out into the world. So I've had the opportunity to write some pretty extraordinary stories about different people. So I'm a New York Times bestselling author, a Wall Street Journal bestselling author, I'm a transformational speaker, and I am a social activist. And it is possible, my friends, to be all of those things, and a wife, and a mother, and just a woman. And that is why I am here to talk to you about this. As I had a chance to meet with so many of you from all these different nations around the world, can I tell you, I've been in tears the last few days, because I see before me shiros already. So I want you to think about, what did it take for you to get to New Delhi to be in this conference in the first place? You had to overcome fears, right? Anybody not have fears about coming? You had to overcome scarcity of time. Anybody have to plan this into their very busy schedule? Yes. And also, you had to put some things together financially in order to be able to afford to do this. Yes, if you're going to step away from your business for a full week to work in your business, then you also had to plan financially. And you had to step away from your families for a while in order to be able to do that. That makes you a shiro. But here's the thing. I'm stepping on things. I have noticed that women around the world are hungry to be able to do something more, especially together. Especially together. So go ahead and set that forward. This is my logo, the logo of the phoenix. And the reason I use it is because it's part of my story, the rising from the ashes. So part of my story is, at age 22, just about her same age, I was in the hospital listening to nurses outside in the corridor, and they were saying she's not going to live until morning. And so I was there contemplating my own death. And I don't know about you, but in my early 20s, I knew I had not fulfilled the measure of my creation. I knew that I had more to give, more to do. But here's the thing, ladies, I held myself as really small. And I thought in my Creator's eyes that I was that small too. And then I had the most profound thing happen. I had a presence that came into my room, healed my body, and gave me a second chance at life. So guess what I did? I took it. I took that chance, yes. And so what I've done is I've been able to work with people from around the world, and I was given a gift to be able to see through the eyes of God into the beautiful eyes of every woman and man and child that I come into contact with, and to tell those stories. But I see women continue to play small. So here's what I would like you to do, is to recognize that the stories you tell yourself are the most important stories on the planet. Yes, the stories you tell yourself. So, are your stories positive? Go ahead, one more. What do you share with others about your leadership capabilities? If someone comes to you and they say, I would like you to head up a committee, do you go, oh, no, I couldn't do that? Or do you go, yes, I could do that? And give yourself a choice. Some of us are really busy and we don't need another committee, right? But do you say, I am enough? So are your stories that you tell yourself about possibilities or limitations? Especially, my friends, as far as leadership. Especially as far as what your ripple can be in the world. That's the most important question that you can ask yourself today, is what are the stories I've told myself, and do I get to shift any of that? Go ahead. So when we talk about know your history, anybody have a messy history like I do? Yeah, some messy history. Oh, I love it. The women in the back going, yeah. So Lisa Nichols, one of my mentors, she has the saying, and that is, your mess is your message. Yes, your mess is your message. And it often is the things that you have struggled with the very, very most, and you have sought to overcome, often become your greatest strengths, and the stories that you can share with one another. And I'll tell you this, if you try to go forth in life and only think about all the accolades, there is not a connection between you and other human beings. But when you talk about your tragedies and your triumphs, that's when the beauty takes place. I'm going to continue to do that. So know your history, because that is where you know your story. And Shiro claims her story. She says, I'm not perfect, but I am here. I am one. I can do something on this planet. And because I am here and because I am one, I will do something. And then Ashiro does one other thing. Go ahead. She shares her story. Ashiro shares her story. There are many of you that I've had a chance to meet, and many of you that I know. And part of the reason why I love you already is because you've shared your stories with me. Go ahead. So this is what I would like you to recognize is, so when we started Shiro's United, we had women from around the world that wanted to be a part of it. They're like, I want to be a part of this beautiful global organization. I want to be a part of empowering women, because we're about eradicating domestic violence, abolishing human trafficking, and supporting our women warriors. And so that's what Shiro stands for us. And so we have women around the world saying, I want to be a part of that. But one thing we noticed is we must know what's going on in our own backyard first. Does that make sense, ladies? Because if I come to you and I want to assist you, but I need to know what's going on in your backyard so then we can collaborate. Go ahead. So here are questions that you can ask in your own neck of the woods. What are the gut-wrenching needs, those things within you and the things within your community that you see that need to be addressed? I told you about our 3 pillars. What would be your pillars in your community be? It might have to do with fighting breast cancer. It might have to do with raising women in the workplace, like tonight, right? She's saying there are no women being able to do these things in these oppressed Arab countries. I'm going to step in. This is a need, and I'm going to meet it, okay? And then the other thing is, what are the glorious opportunities in your community? Women have more opportunity right now than at any other time in human history. There is so much that we can do. Let me ask you a question. How many of you have found a woman just in the last 24 hours that you're going to do business with in the next year? Look at this. That's a shiro. Yes. Just within the last 24 hours, and probably not from your hometown, and probably not from your country. Isn't that exciting? There are glorious opportunities, but it's part of the story that we tell ourselves is, am I going to be open to the possibilities? And here's where we get to follow through, follow up, and make sure that we treat ourselves with the respect that we deserve and say, I do deserve this. I can do this. I can create global change. Are you all that powerful? Yes, you are. Go ahead. And then I would like to share one of my favorite leadership concepts with you. I call this the winner's mindset, the expandable win. So how many of you like sports? Women and men. How many of you like sports? Yeah, it's kind of fun. And sports is all about the competition, right? Sports is about the competition. You want to be the best. You want to be on top. And it is about winners over losers, and it can be a lot of fun. But at home, and in our communities and in our workplaces, and especially in social activism and leadership, it is not about the competition. It is about the collaboration. So here are some important questions that you can ask yourself. First being, who else can we collaborate with? Who already is doing what I want to be doing that I can add my power to, or I can select from and see if they would add their power to what we're doing? And the next one is, how can we make our movement stronger? So here's me, and here's my new friend, and then together, how can we make our power stronger? And then a really important thing is, who else can benefit from what we're creating? I want to give you an example of this in business. So I owned and operated a trucking company. And I know some of you are looking at me like, yeah, right. No, really and truly. We took, during 2007, because it was not a great year for anybody to start a business in 2007, especially in the United States. It's when the economy took a huge dip. But I didn't have a crystal ball. And so I started this trucking business about 2 minutes before the economy fell. But here's the thing, using this winner's mindset, who else can win? Win, 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 win. We went from a one-truck wonder to 15 trucks, 55 trailers, and 11 Western states as 600 trucking companies in North